On this channel, I pride myself for being a very rogue player. I don't really play a lot of meta decks. I think this is the closest I will get to meta in a while, though. I love playing tier 2 type decks where they're very strong and can take games off of tier 1 decks, but they're not so overwhelmingly powerful that they'll probably get hit on the ban list, because I don't want to go around buying new decks every 6 months. And this is, I would say this is one of those decks. This is a very, very solid deck in my opinion. I really believe in Evil Twin Sprite. So, after a little bit of optimization, proud to present it to y'all. Let's get into it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Pay8. I'm feeling great, and I'm coming at you with another spicy deck profile. Today, we've got what I would probably say is the best budget deck that you can get for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! In the current format. We have Live Twin Sprite. I think this deck is crazy. I originally just got the Sprite cards because I was moving off tier. I didn't trust tier to not get hit on this coming ban list whenever we get it. So I thought it was a good time to move it, and I got a good deal on the Sprite cards. And it turns out they're actually a ton of fun in this build specifically. It can get aggressive, it can play low and slow, it can play around Nibiru, Droll. There's not an individual card that truly hoses this deck, and I think that that's just super nice. It feels great to not just get piped by like a D barrier or like an anti-spell. Anti-spell can hurt a little, but whatever. So, like I said, Evil Twin Sprite, there's the Evil Twins and there's the Sprites. Let's start off with the Sprites because they're where a lot of the power in the deck lies. So, it's pretty standard. We have 3 copies of blue, 3 copies of jet, 1 copy of carrot, and 1 copy of red. If you're not familiar with these cards, I know there are players that are not. So blue, well, all these can special themselves if you control a 2-axis monster. Blue and jet if you control a level or rank 2. And then red and carrot if you control a level or link 2. Can just special themselves for free. Blue on special searches a Sprite monster. Jet on special adds a Sprite spell trap. Red is a monster negate by attributing a 2-axis monster, and carrot is a spell and trap negate. Just really strong, versatile cards. All of these just do everything you want them to. Some builds play 2 red. I want to. I like the idea of having 1 Sprite to burn, just in hands where you need to go through like excessive sprint combos, because this is the one variant of Sprite that doesn't really utilize sprint too much. But sometimes you need to. We'll get to that in the extra deck. But that's it for the Sprites. It's pretty simple. Going into the Live Twins, my numbers are a little unconventional, so I'm playing 3 Leela, 3 Kiss-a-Kill, 1 Treat, and 1 Frost. A lot of lists don't play Treat, but I value having the ability to normal summon Kiss-a-Kill, and if it gets impermed, if I have Password or Sunny Snitch, being able to search this means I can play, whereas if I didn't play this, I just have to pass. And I think it's really crucial to have that. And she's not a bad card. If worst comes to worst, she's still level 2. Like, oh, crazy. But also drawing a Live Twin is really important because a Live Twin plus a Sprite is still access to the Sprite engine plus full Live Twin combo, which is just, the combo is relatively low ceiling, but it grinds really well, which I think is important in a mid-range format. It grinds well and it draws cards, and the deck plays a lot of non-engine, so you're able to find those cards really easily. Speaking of non-engine, we got some hand traps. I'm only playing 3 Ash Blossom and 3 DD Crow. I couldn't think of another hand trap that I really liked. The deck has a lot of non-engine space, so we're playing a lot of power spells, which we'll see momentarily, but I think these are the 2 best ones. Crow continues to overperform. The fact that it's also not once per turn is really nice, because over the course of your opponent's turn, you sometimes draw 1 or 2 cards off the Frost, because Frost is actually a crazy card. Just if your opponent adds a card from deck to hand by card effect, while you control Evil Twin, you just banish it from grave and draw a card. So just getting to refill your hand over your opponent's turn while slowing them down with your plays, so that on your turn, you're starting off with a full hand again, so you just get to keep swinging your advantage in your favor. This deck just goes super plus, plays really, really well in a simplified 4th state, and I just think that having access to some kind of non-once per turn hand trap that you can draw off of like the Kiss-a-Kill or the Frost is very, very important. For the spells, 3 Sunny Snitch and 3 Passwords. Some builds don't max out on this to respect Droll, and I don't hate it, but at the same time, I'd rather there's been a significant amount of hands where all I draw is this, and I'd rather lose to Droll and put them on having to have the Droll instead of losing to just not drawing any engine at all, because then they don't have to draw any card to make that happen, if that makes sense. Like, at least this puts them on having to have Droll, because if they don't have Droll, then we still have engine access, which I think is really good. And then Snitch obviously is crazy, just searches and then chip damages your opponent every time they summon. There's a lot of lines turn 3 to hit your opponent for like 75 or something around that number. So being able to chip them just a little bit of the way is really, really nice. And also just if your opponent plays in time, winning is good. Sprite spells, 2 starter, 1 smashers. Wish you could play 3 of this. These cards are all good. I don't search smashers super frequently for my end board. I'm playing 1 additional card that we'll get to in a little bit. But it's very good. Just having an easy to access, just non-targeting banish is always going to be solid. Smashers is a great card. Rest of spells, we're playing 3 Droplet because it synergizes extraordinarily well with the twins. Into a board, you can normal summon a Kill or a Lila, activate its effect. They chainlink 2 like a Baron or something. You can chainlink 3 Droplets, sending the twin. Negate the Baron, summon the other twin, and then because you control no monsters, the other twin gets to activate its effect. So their negation is gone, and you still get 2 level 2 bodies on board. Crazy card in this deck. A similar interaction works with enemy controller, because you normal the twin, activate effect. They can chain something to interact with the twin, and then you can econ tribute the twin to take that monster. It's a little less good, but you still get 2 bodies on board, one of which is either a Kill or a Lila, so it's not the worst thing. I just don't think it's worth it this format. Instead, I'm playing 3 copies of Book of Moon, because I still respect Pearly. This is obviously very good into the Pearly matchup, but it's also fine into some of the other matchups, like like into some decks where you can like flip down a Baron or something that forces the negate. So just going 1 for 1 in that case is fine. Into Rescue Ace, if you can flip down like the Preventer, that's not the worst thing in the world. But also, because it usually forces a monster effect to be activated, it can also turn your Triple Tactics Talents on. I think Talents is probably the greatest card in the game. If I can play this card in a deck, I will. And this deck is no exception. Talents is ridiculous. And then we're playing 1 Call by the Grave. Sometimes Ash on a twin or a Snitch hurts pretty bad. Because the deck is usually quite resilient, but there are hands that are not. So just having this is nice. And then we're playing the 1 Double Cross. This is what I'm searching on my end board. Double Cross is crazy. Did you know you can use this? Like if you have like the Kill link and the Lila link in Grave, if you activate effect to summon the link, and they chainlink 2 like a Crow or a Bestial, you can just chainlink 3 Double Cross, target the link, and summon it anyway. It's so good. And then because the Crow's target will miss, so the link will summon back out, but then because you activated Pink's effect anyway, you also get the level 2 body back, so it just means you have more blockers, or just a free Gigantic Sprite next turn if they don't clear it. This card's crazy. Also, a lot of decks are packing Fenrir, so if your opponent leaves Special Summon Fenrir, you can just immediately take it and put it in the zone that Kill points to. And this doesn't negate the effects, so then they're down a Fenrir, and then they have to play through your own Fenrir on their turn. This card is just... I can't say enough good things about this card. I have loved it every time I've played it. So that's it for the main deck. 41 cards in the main. The 41st card was the 3rd Crow, and I haven't regretted it. I don't think I would go any further over 40 though. For the extra, 2 Kill, 2 Lila, 1 Trouble Sunny, 1 Muckraker. These numbers are pretty standard in the Sprite variation of Evil Twin. I want to find space for another Trouble Sunny, but I know it's not space that I actually need. I just want the second one because I'm not good enough with the deck yet. When you get better, 1 is enough, for sure. These numbers have been great though. Like, it's just more of a, I'd prefer to have it, but it's never actually came up. But these 4 cards, the Kills and the Lilas, these cards are just incredible. They grind extremely hard. Getting Kill draws every turn is just insane. Just keeping your hand full, keeping your advantage up over your opponent, it's great. We'll play 1 IP Masquerena, 1 SP Little Knight. I know that this is extremely expensive. Everything, for the most part, has been relatively budget up until now. Like, Droplets, I think, are 15, and Blues are like 15 as well. And then Starters, like 5. Everything else is pennies. If you don't have this, you could, it's still a little expensive. You could get a copy of Sky Striker Ace Azalea. You need something for like an IP end board type thing. You could play Unicorn if you had to, but this and Azalea are also good into boards because you can just easily drop them. If you have it though, this card's just so strong in this deck. Being able to end on Live Twin combo plus Double Cross plus IP into Little Knight is just ridiculous. It's so much interaction off of basically a 2-card combo. It's insane. And then we play Sprind. A lot of Live Twin Sprite builds do not play this. Because what this does, this enables you to access the twin part of the deck where you draw no twins but draw a bunch of sprites. And a lot of people say like, oh, like why would you want to do that? You're sacrificing full sprite combo for like a Double Cross and a pop. Except for the fact that it's a little bit more than that. You get the draws, which is important for your grind game because the sprite end board on its own has no follow-up. That is the weakness of like Sprite without the Live Twin cards, is that its follow-up is extraordinarily lacking because Elf is banned, which is probably for the better. Elf is broken. But you want to get access to your grind game in a format that grinds. So I think Sprint is still necessary to play. Also, it's sometimes Disruption, but we're not usually doing that in this deck. For the Excuse Monsters, Double Gigantic. You play the second because it helps you get aggressive, and it's also just really nice. Gin Buster. Did you know that this thing's a fiend? So you can use like the twin effects to summon things back, and then you can make this afterwards because this thing's a fiend, and the Evil Twins fiend lock you. The Evil Twins fiend lock you from the extra deck. The Link 2s do, and Muckraker fiend locks you in general. Don't make that mistake. You can't summon any sprites after you use Muckraker's effect. You're not usually doing that, but sometimes you'd want to and you wouldn't be able to, so just remember that. But Gin Buster's crazy. Also, that burn for 500 is really nice in a deck that hits your opponent almost hard enough. Shadow Mosquito is in here for funny battle phase shenanigans. E-Pearly Noir is in here because it outs Tikaboo and Gozen. Because if you normal summon Leela, activate effect, they chain link 2 Gozen, you're like, that's fine. Special summon one of the dark sprites, use this effect to search, and then make Noir, and then Noir can discard and bounce it because you're going dark and a dark Xyz, and then the Xyz outs it. Hasn't came up yet, but I don't want to be caught without it. If I play against like Labyrinth or some random stun deck this format, there's space for it, so I would rather play it. And then Zeus is just really good in a deck that can make Xyz monsters. I mean, I don't think I need to explain anything else there. So that is it for the profile. Let's get into some test hands, because the hands are relatively simple with this deck, but there's a couple different ways to play them out. Let's show that off. Alrighty, y'all, welcome to the test hands portion of the video. The hands are relatively simple in this deck. You get a little bit more skill expression in the grind game, but I still want to show off what the basic combo is, because there was a good period of time where I didn't actually understand how the Live Twin combo actually worked. But I mean, yeah, let's get into it. So first hand, we have Snitch, Leela, Crow, Treat, Droplet. That's crazy, man. That's pretty much everything we want. We can even assume that the Leela gets impermed here, which we're going to do. This hand actually does put up the elevated combo, which is Live Twin Engine plus Double Cross plus IP. So let's show that off. So we're going to normal summon Leela, activate effect to summon a Keys to Kill, assume it gets impermed here. I'm going to assume that certain points get stopped with this deck because I want to show off the deck's resilience to general hand traps that are being played right now. One hand trap is almost never enough. So Leela gets stopped, that's fine. Activate Summon Snitch to search for Frost. Special Frost because we control Leela, Special Treat because we control a Keys to Kill. And then Xyz for Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite effect. We'll detach the Treat to summon a copy of Blue. I also like that this is summon number 4, so you were never getting Nibiru'd here. Blue effect on summon is going to search for Jet. Special summon Jet. Jet effect is going to search for Double Cross. And then we will link 2 for Masquerena, and link 2 for Keys to Kill. Keys to Kill effect to summon a Leela from grave. Does not target, also worth mentioning. So if they like crow one of your targets, you can summon back another one, which is really cool. So link those two into blue. Blue effect to summon a pink, and then pink effect to draw. Another Sunny Snitch for follow-up. That is not too bad. So we have IP, both twin links, droplet, double cross. That is, oh, and crow, by the way. So on our opponent's turn, what will we have? We're gonna assume that these two are set. So we will, when they do something we don't like, we will activate IP's effect, linking off her and blue to go into Little Knight. Unsummon Little Knight effect to banish, and then when something else happens that we don't like, key skill effect will summon a Leela back from grave. Leela effect target to destroy. If our opponent adds from deck to hand, Frost will search. Frost will draw. I apologize. Draw password. Sure. I mean we already have snitch, so it is what it is. But and something else. Droplet. Send pink. Resolution. Blue. Summon a pink. Pink effect. Draw. Talents for next turn. Like you see how I'm refueling my hand just by playing my deck's grind game. It's crazy. And we also still have double cross and the Little Knight banish, so this is like 6 disruptions. And then also there's a crow whenever we need that. So that is hand number 1. I mean that's pretty much best case scenario. Like that end board is really good. Hand number 2. As soon as I get my stuff put back. Alright. Give it a quick shuffle and then a cut. If I can cut my deck correctly. So we drew Key Skill, Smashers, Starter, Crow, and Blue. That's pretty good. The way you end on Little Knight is you have to draw a live twin plus a way to, if you have a starter, if you need to find a way to the extender live twin and vice versa. So you need to have like Kisa Kill plus Treat, for example, or Leela plus Snitch, as we saw. Here we only have Kisa Kill, but we also have blue, so we can show off where this hand goes. Normal summon Kisa Kill, activate effect. People like stopping these, so we're gonna assume our twin always gets stopped, basically. That's fine. Special blue effect, jet. Special jet effect. We'll go for the double cross. I don't like drawing just Kisa Kill because you'd prefer to have access to the frost draw, but if you don't have it, it's still like fine. I mean, we still have Smasher, Starter, double cross. So we'll seize these two into Gigantic. We're gonna leave the Gigantic on our board, which is more grind game, and also we can use it for double cross attachment, which is really nice. We'll activate Gigantic's effect, detach Jet, summon out the Leela Treat. Link 2, have you seen this before? Go pink, pink into blue. Link those two off for blue, blue into pink. And then pink effect to draw. We will draw into talents, that's pretty cool. If they ashed our twin, we get to draw 2 more, or look at their hand. I probably look at their hand here because we have everything we want. But if they don't, then it's just chilling whenever we need it. And then link for another pink. You do this because you want to make sure that you have the twins. The link monsters only summon back the opposite name if you don't already control one. So you have to control no Leela monsters in order to summon back a Leela off of Kisa Kill, but that's fine. It's super easy to do that like we just did. And then I am completely fine just setting 3 cards and passing. So this is, I mean, this is a lot. We have the Crow, Smashers just banishes anything, Starter just gets to either get us a monster negate or a spell trap negate, Double Cross gets to yoink something. We have the pop off Leela as well, and then because what we tribute, so we'll say we summon Carrot, just because there's a lot of power spells in the format. So I'm not ordering this in any particular way, but say at some point you like Carrot, tribute the pink, and then blue can summon back pink. Pink effect draw. Do we draw Ash Blossom? No, we don't, but we draw blue, which is pretty good. And then even if our board does get cleared, we're only 1 live twin draw away from just bringing it all back. That works too. Normal, special, effect search. And they probably invested super hard just to clear that anyway. And if they interact with us, we have the talents to take or draw 2. Drawing Droplet and Jet. We normal summon the Jet, so I mean that's pretty good. Alright, hand number 3. That was a little bit more of like a lower ceiling hand. It just puts up the end board, but not like anything extra. Just gets you into the grind game, which is where you want to be with this deck. This deck is built to grind with the way its end board works. All right, so hand number 3, Jet, followed by Ash, Droplet, Talents. We bricked. Sometimes when you play a bunch of non-engine, you draw your non-engine. We can at least control the game. I'm setting the call by in the Ash Blossom. This probably stops us from dying. Drawing for turn, password is crazy. Like, so if we were going second, this hand becomes crazy because this is the 6th card. But even like if we do this and have to pass, draw for turn, add activate password in main 1. Say they Ash, we'll chain 2 Droplet Send just to negate something. And then we'll Talents draw 2. Cool. Like, that's probably solid. I mean, we took the Ash out of hand, we Droplet negated something else, and then we have Jet plus Blue, which is... it's at least a Zeus plus like a starter or something like that. I mean, it gets you in the grind game, which is good. We'll run one more hand. I think you're starting to see that a lot of the hands kind of work similarly, unless you just don't draw like a normal summon plus a sprite, or just a normal summon without it getting negated. That's the way the deck breaks, is by drawing too much non-engine, which is fine. You just get to slow your opponent down for a turn. It doesn't have the issue of like Kashtira, where you look at a hand of like Theosis Birth, and just you have no starters, but also no ways to stop your opponent. This deck at least like bricks on power cards. Like, oh, okay. And so final hand, Crow, starter, blue, Crow. So I get to show off the hand trap plus starter line, because this is also full twin combo. And it's bonus because we drew blue. So let's show this 3-card interaction off, which will happen semi-frequently. So we'll go main 1, lead with starter. Special summoning Jet, losing 13, Jet effect. No, that's bad. Why are we summoning Jet? We're supposed to summon red here. I apologize. We're supposed to summon red to play around Droll. Because when we special summon the blue and use blue's effect to search it, they Droll as a res, we'll just red tribute it. So special red, special blue effect, search Jet. There we go. I'm still a little stupid, but we're getting there. So we special Jet effect is going to add, it's always double cross turn 1. And here comes the funny thing. Normal summon Crow. Link 2. This is why we play Sprint effect. That will send our copy of Leela. And then Xyz for Gigantic. And then Gigantic effect. Detach Jet. To special our copy of Kill Frost. Next, we will link into pink into blue. Have we seen this before? Link for blue summon back pink effect draw. Alright, we will activate this and then search Snitch and then search off of Snitch. Because I enjoy the idea of chipping my opponent's life away slowly when they try to play into my board. Just makes killing him a little bit easier. Then activate Snitch. Because we're going to use both Leelas, both Kisakills, I'm sorry, we're going to want to search a Leela for follow-up, because that's going to be the only Link 2 we have left, which is a little annoying, but you have the Link 2, like, you have your final Leela, and then you have Muckraker to get the engine going one more time, so if you can have your board fully wiped twice and still rebuild off of it, which I think is probably good enough. So we have Leela for next turn. Make another pink, set double cross, and pass. So this is what your hands typically look like. We had to get there a little bit of a silly way with the sprint line, but here's what you usually want to have. You have the red, you have the double cross, and then your opponent adds from deck, you frost draw, you at some point ping summon back a blue effect pops, red tributes pink to negate a monster effect, blue summons back pink draws, so you're drawing 2 cards on their turn, and then at some point you have a double cross and a crow. So this end board off of like the goofy combo is not comprehensive, but you're starting your turn off with 5 cards in hand. Like look at this, you have Leela, Blue, Starter, Book of Moon, and Sunny Snitch. So they've burned a bunch of resources to play into your board, but it's like you're starting the game all over again with a fresh hand. So who's really winning there is the question I would ask. But that's really all I have to show. The test hands don't really show where you can go in like the mid-range, like the mid-game. We haven't seen the Gin Buster, we haven't seen the Zeus Lines, we haven't seen the Trouble Sunny, we haven't seen the Muckraker. But those are just things that are just there whenever you need them, and when you're building your board, you don't typically need them. But like I said, that's all I got for y'all. I'm really enjoying this deck. This is the one build of Sprite I always really enjoyed. It kind of pushes the same buttons that like Draco Striker used to, where it's a lot of drawing and controlling the game with like your Link monsters. I love it, and I hope y'all love it as much as I do. With that being said, I've been Pay8, I'm still feeling great, and y'all have a good one. Peace.